This video is for educational and informational purposes only. Please always consult your family doctor or a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet, lifestyle, or exercise routine.
Hello my dear senior friends, before you read another word, I want you to do something small but revealing. Notice your feet right now. As you sit there, ask yourself honestly, can you truly feel the floor beneath you, the texture of your socks, the pressure of your shoes? Or is there a strange fog between your brain and your feet, a numbness, a buzzing, a prickling sensation that never seems to fully go away? Perhaps it feels like you are permanently standing on a thick, spongy mat, even when you're on solid tile or hardwood. If any of this sounds familiar, please stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change the way you move for years to come. So many of you have been told the exact same story by well-meaning doctors. You're told this burning, this tingling, this creeping numbness in your feet and legs is simply neuropathy, an unfortunate side effect of diabetes, of past chemotherapy treatments, or of blood vessels that have simply narrowed with the passing decades. And then comes the discouraging part. You're told to take a pill, manage the discomfort, and accept that this is now permanent. My dear senior friends, I am here today to gently push back on that narrative, because it is incomplete. Emerging research, including work highlighted by institutions studying peripheral nerve health, shows something remarkable. Specific, targeted movement can genuinely influence how your nerves function. Your nervous system is not a fixed, unchangeable wiring system doomed to decay. It is adaptable. It can be coaxed, retrained, and encouraged to rebuild lost communication pathways between your brain and your lower body. Through consistent, deliberate physical challenges, you can encourage healthier blood flow, stimulate dormant nerve pathways, and begin restoring the sense of ground beneath your feet that you feared was gone forever. Today, we are walking through 4 simple, accessible exercises, each one aimed at rebuilding strength, restoring balance, and reawakening that vital neurological connection between your brain and your legs. Every single movement will be shown in both a seated version and a standing version, so no matter your current mobility level, there is a safe entry point designed just for you. Let's talk honestly for a moment about why this matters so deeply. Neuropathy doesn't just cause physical discomfort, it quietly steals confidence. When your brain can no longer clearly sense the ground beneath your feet, ordinary walking becomes an anxious, calculated task. You find yourself staring down at your feet with every step, your shoulders hunch forward, your natural posture collapses under the weight of uncertainty. Many of you have told me, in comments and messages, that you've stopped taking your evening walks. You've skipped visits with grandchildren, avoided family gatherings, all because of a fear that your legs might simply give way beneath you. My dear senior friends, that fear is valid, but it does not have to be your permanent reality. The connection between your brain and your feet is retrainable. These 4 movements act as a gentle wake-up call to a nervous system that has gone quiet, reminding your body how to communicate clearly again. Before we dive into the movements themselves, let's briefly understand what is actually happening inside your body, because understanding the why makes the how so much more powerful. Picture your nerves as a vast network of electrical cables, running from your brain, down through your spinal cord, and all the way out to the very tips of your toes. These cables carry an enormous amount of information every single second, telling your brain exactly where your foot is positioned, whether the ground is soft or firm, level or tilted. Over time, due to elevated blood sugar from diabetes, the lingering effects of chemotherapy, or simply reduced circulation that naturally comes with aging, the protective insulation surrounding these nerve cables can become damaged. Simultaneously, the tiny blood vessels responsible for feeding oxygen to these nerves begin to narrow and shrink. When a nerve is both starved of oxygen and stripped of its protective coating, its signal begins to short-circuit, and that short-circuit is precisely what you experience as burning, tingling, or that unsettling buzzing sensation. Numbness tells a slightly different story. That happens when the signal doesn't just short-circuit, it drops out entirely. The wire, so to speak, has frayed. Your brain sends a message asking, "Foot, where are you?" and the reply never quite makes it back up the leg. This is precisely why so many of you describe the sensation of walking on cotton or thick padding. Your brain is essentially guessing where the ground is, rather than truly knowing. Now here is the encouraging part, my dear senior friends. This is where exercise enters the picture, through a beautiful biological process called neuroplasticity. Your brain and nervous system retain a remarkable capacity to adapt, even later in life. When you engage in specific, targeted movements like the ones we're about to walk through, you force your brain to redirect its attention toward your legs and feet. You increase blood circulation, delivering fresh oxygen to nerves that have been starving for it. And perhaps most importantly, you encourage your body to recruit new, healthy neural pathways that can effectively detour around the damaged sections. In essence, we are helping your brain construct a new road toward your feet, one rep at a time. Of course, because we are addressing both balance and sensory challenges together, safety must come first. If you plan to perform any of these movements while standing, please ensure you have sturdy support nearby, a solid dining chair, a kitchen counter, or better yet, position yourself in the corner of a room so you have walls behind and beside you for extra reassurance. There is no rush here. Progress at whatever pace feels safe for your body today. Let's begin with our first movement, which I like to call the ankle wake-up rock. This gentle rocking exercise can be performed either seated in a sturdy chair or standing with support, whichever feels most appropriate for your current ability. Begin with both feet planted firmly and flat on the floor. First, slowly raise both heels upward toward the ceiling, keeping the balls of your feet and your toes pressed firmly into the ground beneath you. You should feel a gentle contraction through your calf muscles. Lower your heels back down, and then immediately shift your weight backward, lifting your toes and the front portion of your feet upward while your heels remain planted. This creates a smooth, continuous rocking rhythm, heels up, then flat, toes up, then flat. When you lift your heels, you're activating the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles in your calves. When you lift your toes, you're engaging the tibialis anterior muscle running along the front of your shin. These particular muscles matter enormously, because as neuropathy progresses, many people unconsciously begin shuffling their feet, afraid of catching a toe and tripping. This rocking motion actively restores range of motion in your ankles and retrains your brain to consciously lift those toes again with every step, which is one of the most important habits for preventing falls. Aim for somewhere between 10 and 20 smooth repetitions, moving slowly and deliberately, really feeling each muscle engage rather than rushing through the motion. Our second movement shifts focus toward your core and total body coordination. I call this the cross-body balance chop, and I recommend everyone begin with the seated version first, even those of you who consider yourselves quite active, because this movement demands real focus. Sit toward the edge of your chair with both feet planted firmly on the floor. Before moving your arms, take a moment to actively press your feet downward into the ground, consciously creating that physical connection. This simple act alone sends an important signal traveling up from your feet toward your brain. Now, clasp your hands together in front of your body. Bring your clasped hands down toward your right hip, then sweep them upward along a diagonal path, crossing your torso until your hands reach up high near your left shoulder. Slowly reverse the motion, bringing your hands back down to your right hip. If shoulder discomfort makes clasping uncomfortable, simply keep your arms separate and move them together in parallel instead. Complete 10 to 20 repetitions on this side, then switch, chopping from your low left hip up toward your high right shoulder for another 10 to 20 repetitions. This may seem like a purely upper body movement, but balance never comes from the feet alone. It requires a strong, stable core to anchor your center of gravity. While your arms sweep diagonally, your core is working hard to stabilize your shifting weight, all while your feet maintain firm contact with the floor. It's a full-body coordination drill that forces multiple nervous system pathways to communicate simultaneously. Before we move forward, let me know your age and from where you are watching this video in the comments below. And while you're there, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe so you never miss a session like this one. Now let's move into our third exercise, which I call the circulation booster march. This is a wonderful aerobic movement that can be done seated in a sturdy chair or standing if you feel confident and stable. If seated, sit tall with good posture. Begin marching in place, lifting your right knee upward, then lowering it, followed by lifting your left knee. As you march, naturally swing your arms as though you were walking briskly outdoors, right knee rising with your left arm forward, left knee rising with your right arm forward. Why begin a nerve-focused routine with something aerobic? Because your nerves desperately need oxygen in order to heal, and oxygen travels through your bloodstream. Even light aerobic movement like this quickly raises your heart rate and widens the blood vessels feeding your legs, flushing away metabolic waste from damaged nerve tissue while delivering the nutrients required for repair. The alternating left-right pattern also requires both hemispheres of your brain to coordinate together, which further stimulates your central nervous system. Start with just 30 to 60 seconds, counting how many controlled, deliberate marches you can complete. As your stamina builds over the coming weeks, gradually work your way up to a full 1 or 2 minutes. This is the perfect movement to slip into small pockets of your day, while your kettle boils, during a commercial break, or while waiting for your coffee to brew, allowing you to weave healing circulation into your routine without it ever feeling like a formal workout. Our fourth and final movement is the kickstand balance hold, a modified single-leg stance designed to directly challenge and strengthen your balance system. Please stand and position yourself near solid support, ideally in the corner of a room facing outward, with a chair placed in front of you, giving you walls behind and beside you plus a chair to steady yourself with. Shift your entire weight onto your right leg. Step your left foot slightly behind you, allowing only your left toes to lightly touch the floor for gentle balance, much like a kickstand supporting a bicycle. Here is the most important cue of this entire routine: keep your standing leg relaxed, with a soft, slight bend in the knee rather than locking it straight. When your knee locks, you're simply resting your weight on bone and joint. When your knee stays soft, you force the muscles throughout your thigh, calf, and ankle to actively engage and keep you upright. You may notice your ankle making dozens of tiny micro-adjustments to maintain stability, and that subtle wobble is actually a wonderful sign. It means your nervous system is firing rapidly, actively recalculating your balance in real time. Once you feel steady, try lifting just one fingertip off the chair, or releasing it entirely if you feel secure. Hold this position for 30 to 60 seconds, then switch sides, shifting your weight onto your left leg with your right toes resting lightly behind you. If this feels too challenging initially, simply place your back foot completely flat on the floor, slightly staggered in front of the other, widening your base of support and splitting your weight more evenly. If you're ready for more of a challenge, try lifting your back foot completely off the ground for a true single-leg balance. My dear senior friends, what we've covered today, the ankle wake-up rock, the cross-body balance chop, the circulation booster march, and the kickstand balance hold, together form a complete system addressing mobility, coordination, circulation, and balance all at once. These movements may look deceptively simple, but the underlying science is compelling. Performed consistently, they can genuinely help restore stability, rebuild strength, and meaningfully reduce the day-to-day symptoms associated with neuropathy. A wonderful starting point is committing to 2 or 3 sessions per week. Remember, your nerves need adequate recovery time between sessions to properly heal and adapt. The most common misstep people make is either pushing too hard too quickly, or the opposite, staying stuck doing the exact same easy version week after week without ever progressing. Start exactly where you are today, use whatever support you need without hesitation, and above all, be patient with your body as it relearns this vital communication. Before we close today's session, my dear senior friends, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel so you never miss future guidance like this. Share this video with a loved one, a parent, a neighbor, or a friend who might be quietly struggling with these same sensations in their feet and legs, and please, leave a comment letting us know which of these 4 exercises you plan to try first. Your feet have carried you through an entire lifetime of memories, and with patience, consistency, and the right guidance, they can continue carrying you forward, steady, confident, and free. Take care of yourselves, move gently but move often, and we'll see you again very soon.